Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie, and I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. We have another new secret layer going on today. It's interesting. It's not that bad. There's a Crucible of Worlds. There's a Zurin orb that I love. It's great lands matter cards. But today I wanted to come at you with 3 hot takes on Secret Layer. 3 things that I think eventually we start to see as the world of Secret Layer continues to evolve. It used to be you had 1 or 2 Secret Layers every couple months, and it was just reprints with cool new artwork, and there was a lot of pushback from there. And when I first started this channel, I really pushed back. As somebody who runs a lot of my business of selling singles, I was really worried that that was going to affect the world of owning a card store when Magic was going to be printing direct-to-consumer singles. But honestly, the negative effects of Secret Layer to the singles industry and the singles market, I don't think are really there. We haven't seen like huge tanks to cards that had a ton of value because of the way they kind of have limited the Secret Layer and that kind of stuff. So I have been wrong in the past, but I want to give you guys some of the thoughts that I have on the future of Secret Layer. The kind of jumpstart of this is that today, for the first time, we have Magic the Gathering selling direct-to-consumer commander decks as part of Secret Layer. The Secret Layers today, you can get them on their own, but also they are bundling them with Edge of Eternity's commander decks, which is a little bit wild because allocation for stores was super rough on commander decks. So it's super interesting to see them giving some of the product that game stores desperately need, that even retail box stores like Walmart and that kind of stuff also desperately need right now. They are allocating some of that, some of the print run at least, to Secret Layer so that they can also include 5 upgrade cards to sell you singles alongside your commander deck. So there's a lot to unpack there. A, are they like not reprinting cards into these commander decks so that they can then put them as Secret Layers with new artwork so that they can sell you both the commander deck and the 5 cards that would have been in the commander deck had they not had this idea? I don't know. That's a conspiracy theory for another day. Previously, though, we've had commander decks that are not available at game stores. We've had commander decks that are just Secret Layer themed. They're like one-offs. And this is kind of an interesting step forward. This really, they've dabbled in selling some sealed product alongside of Secret Layers, like with the Secret Layers that are festivals in a box. They'll put some sealed packs. I don't remember in the back of my head ever receiving a full box. Maybe like Dominaria Remastered, we got like a full box in a Secret Layer. But this is on release week. Friday, pre-release was this Friday, past Friday. Release week is Friday this week, and they are selling in the middle of that commander decks with these cards. So it's very interesting. It's a much different thing. So here are my 3 hot takes on what we see happen with Secret Layer over the next year to 2 years. I've already said one of them. I'm going to reiterate it in this video in case you missed it. I really firmly believe that Wizards of the Coast is going to print an entire commander set, not just a one-off deck, but 4 or 5 decks in a bundle on Secret Layer that you buy at secretlayer.com that is not available at your LGS. I've already said I kind of think this is going to be the Spider-Man decks. There's no Spider-Man commander decks. That seems really weird. Maybe they would have already announced this and it's, I've missed the window. But at some point, I think eventually they will not release commander decks to the public via, storefronts or your Walmart or your GameStop or whatever, but instead they will release them on secretlayer.com. They will completely get rid of the middlemen of the distribution system and all that stuff and the LGSs, and they will just go direct to consumer with these commander decks. And frankly, it makes a lot of logical sense for them. If they have the fulfillment centers to handle it, to just ship it out, I think it makes legitimately makes a lot of sense for them. I hate it. I don't want it to be that way. I much rather be the person that gets to sell the decks and to my customers and that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, the same thing that happened with singles is going to happen here. Stores will have to adapt if that happens. One of the things we do is we buy secret layers. There's a maximum, we buy the maximum, and for people in our store who miss out, either we make them a great deal on them, or 6 months, a year down the line when it's been a long time, we're just selling them at retail price, at whatever the price is. And that's a way that you can engage as a store in being part of the secret layer, even though you don't get them to distribution. So there are ways to do that. I think as a store, yeah, I would get up there, I would buy the maximum, and for people who missed out on that and aren't able to get it, they'll have a place in the local game store that they know they can trust, that they rely on, that will continue to have product for them. I don't like it. And I hope if they end up doing that, they do the secret layer, but then they also offer the product at distribution, like we have seen them do with some of the secret layers across the board. That tends to be a pretty good win-win across the board on most of these secret layers, but we'll see what they end up doing. But I still am holding firm to my early call that Spider-Man will have commander decks and that they will come out as secret layer. Even though there is a Spider-Man set, we won't see that through distro. It'll just be on secret layer for the commander decks. Which leads me to the second big hot take for secret layer. Eventually, probably not this year, probably not next year, but eventually we will see a full-scale Magic the Gathering release, an entire booster box that is exclusive to secret layer. Not Mystery Booster 2. They're already kind of dabbling with this, right? They've already kind of started the ball rolling with reprinting with Mystery Booster 2. There's no other place where you can get Mystery Booster 2. It's not been available at distribution. You can go to the to the Magic Fests and the whatever to get them. But from an online perspective, from a distribution perspective, it's not at Big Box. It's not anywhere else. It's just at secretlayer.com. They're labeling it as Festival in a box, but that's where they have sold the Mystery Booster 2s. Now, that's reprints, and I don't think that's that big of a deal. No one's surprised by that, right? Secret Layer is predominantly reprints, although over the last year we have seen more and more new cards direct to consumer, direct to Secret Layer, and this is what tells me eventually you're going to be buying a 30 card play booster box, maybe even a collector booster box at full scale MSRP from secretlayer.com, and it's not going to be available at your local game store. It's not going to be available anywhere else. It's going to be a Magic the Gathering set that is exclusively available at secretlayer.com. You could even tell me, I would even go as far, I believe in this so wholeheartedly, maybe I'm wrong. Listen, leave me a comment in the comment section if you just think I'm just dead wrong. But I think you could convince me that their entire push for MSRP and the reduction in print that they are doing currently to get boxes to hit over MSRP. You could convince me that this entire thing is so that they can go direct to consumer on secretlayer.com with a full-scale Magic the Gathering set. Imagine how much more money they make by selling direct to consumer with really no limits other than fulfillment systems. Listen, there's some, in the last 20 years, fulfillment for businesses like this, with Amazon's logistics, with things like Quartermaster Logistics, have increased so much. 20 years ago, none of these things, they didn't have the opportunity for this stuff. They had to go through distribution and local game stores in order to successfully sell a product. They don't have to do that anymore. The world has changed. There are all these other ways that they can do that. They could curate and create a brand new set with all new cards. 200. Maybe they started out as like a small set. I'm not sure if you read the Mark Rosewater interview that Spider-Man was originally. I believe the way he phrased it is that Spider-Man was originally supposed to be a smaller set, of kind of like what was it? Kind of like Aftermath, and they changed it from being like an Aftermath themed set. Not themed, but size set, to now it's like a medium set, so it's not that big of a set for Spider-Man. I think the first set that they do this with would be a smaller set, kind of like an Aftermath, and maybe even maybe they do like a Lorwyn, right? And you have the Lorwyn product at distribution, but then they do like a Lorwyn bonus set that is only available at Secret Layer, something like that. But eventually we will get brand new cards, and it just makes sense. Like, at the end of the day, it just makes sense. And then this leads me way down the line, okay? Way down the line. You got all these things. Changes typically come back in a circle, okay? So you're gonna have all this stuff happen. Just like you had Secret Lair was a big change, and it came back in a circle, and it ended up that now Secret Lairs sometimes get brought to distribution and shipped out to stores. Everything turns, right? There's huge change. This happens in life, right? You have big life change, and it all tends to come back around and work out in some different way than people thought it would. The last one I have, the last big change, big thing, is that eventually you will see exclusive Secret Lairs at big box retail. I know, that's crazy. You're gonna see Magic the Gathering, just like they went, they did big box things and they went to the big box at some point. You're gonna see exclusive Magic the Gathering Secret Lairs at big box retail, and that big box retail will end up being GameStop, and it's going to be a negotiation between GameStop and Wizards of the Coast, because GameStop over the next couple years is going to continue to increase their drive to becoming a local game store. And how do you do that? You get on Magic the Gathering's good side, you work out a contract, you work out a deal with Magic the Gathering to get exclusive Secret Lairs, that those exclusive cards are only going to be available at a GameStop. You're not even going to be able to get it at your LGS. You're not going to be able to get it on secretlair.com. You're going to have to go to a GameStop to get that Secret Lair when it comes out. Those are my big three things. Now let me tell you this. There's going to be a lot of pushback to this video. People hate change. And business owners hate change. I hate the idea that I'm going to have to compete with GameStop. I can't compete with GameStop. But the reality is, you don't have to compete with these changes. The reality of owning a game store or flipping singles is just to create your own customer base, is just to create your own environment that people want to be at. People are not going to go shop at GameStop for most of their products over shopping at my store, because we treat people well, we hang out with people, we've got a good community, we have people who want to interact with other people. We've created a great thing that people want to be a part of. And so even though those things scare me and I think they're bad, I don't think they're good for the business. Maybe it makes Wizards more money, but typically all this exclusive GameStop stuff, those things don't last very long. Even like for Pokemon, it creates this kind of culture of people only shopping there to just get that thing. It doesn't really help them. Anyway, my point being is that if you shift the way that you do business and if you just adapt and overcome, you can overcome all those things, and Wizards will still be able to print more money and make more money and do that stuff. So let me know your thoughts on my wild theories for Secret Lair. Let me know if you bought the Secret Lair today. What'd you think about it? Man, Crucible of Worlds is a great card. Zern Orb is one of my favorite Lands Matter cards. So yeah, hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you guys next video.